Doctors Hospital of Augusta versus Alicea concerns the always stressful decisions surrounding end-of-life medical care. Jacqueline Alicea lived with her grandmother, Bucilla Stephenson. Stephenson executed an advance directive for healthcare designating Alicea as her healthcare agent. Alicea had to take her father off a ventilator a few years earlier, and Stephenson didn't want Alicea to have to make that kind of decision about her. Stephenson indicated in her advance directive that she didn't want her life prolonged by machines. This echoed what she'd repeatedly told her family, that when her time came to die, she'd be ready to go. When she was 91, Stephenson woke up minimally responsive and incontinent. Alicea drove Stephenson to Doctors Hospital, where she was diagnosed with pneumonia, sepsis, and renal failure. Alicea gave the hospital the advance directive, which was placed in Stephenson's file. While Stephenson was in the intensive care unit, Alicea consented to some procedures, but insisted that Stephenson didn't want any heroic measures. A doctor left a note in her chart that Alicea was to be called before intubation. Nevertheless, Dr. Philip Catalano briefly intubated Stephenson during surgery without telling Alicea. 2 days later, Catalano had Stephenson put on a ventilator to prevent respiratory failure. He refused to call Alicea before ordering the procedure. Alicea was shocked and upset to discover Stephenson had been intubated. Having been deprived of the chance to let nature take its course, Alicea consented to several other procedures, including insertion of a feeding tube and a tracheostomy. Finally, informed that Stephenson's kidneys were shutting down, Alicea authorized the removal of the ventilator. Stephenson died 3 days later. Alicea sued Doctors Hospital and Catalano, alleging that they had subjected Stephenson to unnecessary medical procedures in violation of her advance directive. Doctors asked for summary judgment on the ground that it was immune from liability under state law. The court refused to grant summary judgment, and the Court of Appeals affirmed. The Georgia Supreme Court granted cert.